Today I'm going to be reacting to the Joshua Tree by U2. Now, of course, I've heard of U2. I've definitely heard a lot of their music growing up, so I kind of have an idea of what this is going to sound like going in. But yeah, not much else to say. We're going to hop into it. Make sure to go join the Patreon if you want to see this reaction uncut. The first track is Where the Streets Have No Name. Okay, I think I've heard this one. Those guitars sound familiar, but we'll see. It's crazy how much this sounds like it kind of laid the groundwork for like Coldplay or something, you know? Yeah, I've definitely heard this growing up. Very anthemic, cathartic. Great delay on that guitar. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of all the things I expected. It's anthemic, it's cathartic, it's maximalist, huge sounding. It kind of has almost a stadium rock feel to it, but in a little bit more of like a subdued, melancholy way. Obviously, Bono's vocals are iconic. I've heard this music a lot growing up, so like I'm not too surprised by anything here. The one thing that stuck out to me more than anything though is the lyrics and how conceptual and how imagery heavy these lyrics are, which is not something I was super expecting. Where the streets have no name. Interesting. It's like running away to a place with maybe a person where the streets have no name, where there's no preconceived notion about anything or no judgment, no biases. I don't know why that my brain goes there, but that's what it feels like to me. I don't know. I'm intrigued to see if we're gonna get, if all of these tracks are just kind of follow that formula, or if we're gonna get some more stuff that throws me off a little bit, which I'm kind of hoping for, because I don't want this to be exactly what I was expecting. But we'll see. We'll see. I still haven't found what I'm looking for. Oh, Brian Eno was a producer on this one. Okay. Dude, he's just everywhere on this, like, 70s and 80s stuff. It's crazy. Very similar guitar tone to the first track. I've heard this one too. I've definitely heard like the hits on this album. Like this one and the next one I've definitely heard, but I haven't heard the deep cuts, so don't worry. It's not like I've heard the whole thing. What a great melody. moments where he gets some really nice like rasp in his vocals. Like there. Very atmospheric. Yeah, this is a lot more dreamy and like hazy than I remember it sounding as like as young me, you know? Obviously, I wasn't like listening intently. Yeah, a lot more hazy sounding, which is pretty interesting. The Joshua Tree too, like the title, what a Joshua Tree is. Apparently, it's a tree that grows in the desert. A unique, slow-growing succulent that resembles a desert tree. Native to the American Southwest. So that could be, you know, a symbol of something that is finding life in very trying and difficult situations, or, you know, a difficult environment, being able to grow, being able to survive in that, which could be, you know, a metaphor for what's going on lyrically here. I guess we'll see as we go along. Next track is With or Without You, which is the biggest hit on this album. Had no idea this album was this big. Holy, 1.4 billion streams. Kind of a drum machine feel to that. I mean, it is 80s, I'm not surprised by that. Bit of a cleaner vocal mix. Sleight of hand and twist of fate. On a bed of nails she makes me wait. And I wait without you. With or without you. Through the storm we reach the slowly building the percussion out here. Looks like this whole album was produced by Brian Eno. Cool. And Daniel Lanois. This is ultimately just this is a sad boy album, man. I can't live with or without you, man. And you give. Oh my god. Really well produced. So many like counter melodies going on in the guitars. But it doesn't feel too busy or anything. That's great. I mean, it makes sense why that's the most streamed. It's like, take everything that's happened on the first two tracks and just dial it up to like 100, you know? The emotions are more in your face on this one. The vocal performance is more emotive. The counter melodies going on the guitars and how they're mixed, everything, like, there is slight diversity within the guitar tones, but they all feel cohesive at the same time. The impression that I'm getting so far, at least on this album, is that like they really honed in their own sound. When you think of a U2 song, like, you know exactly what it sounds like, and maybe they got away from this on later albums. I don't know. Let's keep going. Next track is Bullet the Blue Sky, which I've probably not heard. Okay. Give me something a bit darker. Damn. Whew. Okay. We're growling. We're angry. Oh! See what I mean with the counter melodies? Like, there's always like 3 catchy little melodies going on at the same time. Oh. It's cool to see that they're not always like overly sentimental, you know? It's cool to see like a harder side of them.
And I can see those spider planes. And I can see those spider planes. Outside it's America.
Some political messaging here, maybe?
Outside it's America.
Nice. Dang. Okay. Very overtly political and angry track. Talking about the U.S. apparently causing unrest in Central America in the 1980s, which you definitely see with this last outro here too. See across the field, the sky ripped open. See the rain coming through the gaping wound, howling the women and children who run into the arms of America. The women and children have no choice but to run into the arms of America. And this is they're an Irish band, is that right? Let me just confirm. They definitely feel like, I don't know, something about them like feels like an American band to me, but yeah, they're Irish. Okay. I think that's I don't know. I'm not going to say it's my favorite so far. I think I am giving that one a little bit more grace just because it's one that I haven't heard, and it's always more exciting to hear something you haven't heard than stuff you've heard before. But it is cool to see a little bit more bite to the band, and it's cool to see that we're not all these tracks aren't going to be like super sentimental. I will be honest, some of the vocal like growling came off a little bit corny to me, like a little bit forced, like you're trying to sound hard, you're trying to sound aggressive in a way that didn't feel super authentic, but that's really my only nitpick with that song. Whoa, twangy.
So she woke up from where she was, lying still.
Kind of a Lou Reed feel to this. This is cool.
Run from the darkness in the night, singing la 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 di day, la 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 di day, la la di day. I see 7 towers, but I only see one way out. You gotta cry without weeping, talk without speaking, scream without raising your voice. You know I took the poison.
Great lines there. This is great. I feel like this is at least my favorite writing on the album so far. It's very Lou Reed. Oh, let's go. Beautiful. This is my favorite so far. This is great. Feels like it's indebted to a lot of classic folk music as well, both with the lyrics, but the structure of everything here. Let's keep going. Red Hill Mining Town.
From father to son, the blood runs through. See faces frozen still against the wind. The seam is split.
Okay.
The cold face cracked. The lines are long. There's no going back. Has come and gone. Hey, leave me holding on.
That guitar is just shining. That's crazy. Such a crazy tone. Love how that guitar melody leads in there. Like, oh, it's so good. The ooze. Dude, the atmosphere is, there's always like a new little subtle thing being added. It's crazy. That was great. I am really pleased to hear like different sides of the songwriting and different styles. I was worried that every track here was going to be like the first 3 tracks, but we are getting a nice amount of variety and diversity. Lyrically, this is about like a coal mining town that was, or a coal mine that was shut down, apparently. Shout out Bono, man. Shout out Bono. Fighting for these coal miners. Next track is In God's Country. They love that sound, too, that delayed guitar tone. And then it's a lot of these, like, bright, like, that's the best word, bright, sunny guitars, shiny. Nice clean bass tone. The drums haven't super stood out to me, but on this album so far, but they're sounding great here. Feels like this is about kind of the American dream. The American dream. Oh. Woo. That's cool. Yeah, it feels like this is about America, at least in some sense. God's country, I guess. You know, America is often referred to as that. Sleep comes like a drug in God's country. Sad eyes, crooked crosses. Every day the dreamers die to see what's on the other side. That's what made me think of the American dream, you know? She is liberty, and she comes to rescue me. I was reading below, and it did mention the Statue of Liberty too, so maybe that's what that's referring to. The greatest gift is gold. Interesting. It almost seems like it's, yeah, commenting a little bit on, like, maybe the American dream, but also, like, the pointlessness of that, or, like, the shallowness of it in a way. Yeah, we'll keep going. Next track is Trip Through Your Wires. Oh, we're back. Back with the harmonica. Okay. That's a great line. I was naked in the clothes you made. It's like a sense of desperation on this track. That was fine. I mean, not my favorite on the album. Really like the lyrics here. I just felt like, I don't know, instrumentally it got a little bit muddy in terms of the mix, which, I don't know, they were definitely going for like a jammier kind of bluesy feel, but I felt like the mix could have been a bit cleaner. I felt like maybe this super cacophonous style that they kind of have doesn't necessarily lend itself to that type of song. Next track is One Tree Hill. Maybe that's referencing the title of the album in some way. Nice. Oh, those vocals. Very vocals. Oh, again, crunchy. Raining! 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 Sure. Oh, we still got 40 seconds. Okay. This is religious. It's spiritual feeling. Gospel-y. Interesting. Okay, apparently that track was dedicated to Greg Carroll. Maori Man, the band first met in Auckland during one of their tours in 1984. He was killed in 1986 in a motorcycle accident. That is heartbreaking. And that, yeah, very spiritual and kind of beautiful, tender track lyrically. I'll see you again when the stars fall from the sky. Very sweet track dedicated to this guy. Not like it didn't super shock me or do anything that surprising, to be honest, but just a nice little tender moment. Next track is Exit.
Wanted to believe in the hands of love.
Beautiful. Hear that, like, just super quiet percussion? Don't even know what that is, just...
His head felt heavy as he came across the land. The dog started crying like a broken-hearted man. And the howling wind, he went deeper into black, deeper into white. You see the stars shine like nails in the night. He felt the healing hands of love, like the stars shining from above. A hand in the pocket, a finger on the steel, the pistol weighed heavy, and his heart he could feel was beating.
Ooh! What an effective build, wow. Woo! Like scratchy little over there. Ooh, this is good. Oh my god, that bass! That's crazy. This is like the coolest textural work on the album so far. This is great. Oh, that snare is crazy. Bow, bow. Whew. Oh yeah. Dude, I love how menacing this is. almost feels like that should be the final track. Curious what this next one is. That was great. What an atmosphere to that one. Great textural work, too. Last track, Mothers of the Disappeared. Okay, we're keeping the darker vibe going. Kind of an industrial feel. Ooh. It's dark, but there's like a tinge of hope to this as well. It's has a bit of a resolute feel to it. This track, sorry, I'm gonna pause it. This track feels like we're in like some sort of war-torn landscape, you know? And the lyrics are from the perspective of these people who have suffered, you know, their sons and daughters being taken from us during these wars. But like the metallic feel of everything here, like it feels so, it's almost like the track has like went through some sort of destruction itself. It's like things are barely hanging on. It's just metallic. It's like, it's really, really great in terms of like driving home the lyrics and driving home the overall, like putting us in this place, you know?
In the trees, I sense naked. Through the walls, I notice cry. See their tears. In the rainfall.
It's beautiful. I mean, it's heartbreaking, but it's so sweet at the same time. Oh, it's like, dude. It's like that. Oh, wow. A lot going on in that track, but specifically that last little synth, like metallic industrial synth that feels like, you know, the sonic representation of like America and military and mass, you know, levels of power, in contrast with the kind of more like serene, human, soulful feel of the rest of the track. It's like that the two sides of this track are fighting each other, and I'm very pleased and surprised with this album that like not everything here was so directly like tied in with like just relationships and with love and stuff like that. Like I really do appreciate how much political commentary is in here. It seems like Bono was someone who visited a lot of these places and kind of wrote from that experience of visiting these places. If we're taking the Joshua tree that I mentioned earlier, the symbol of life in the desert, that is almost a perfect symbol of a lot of the things that were talked about on this album, whether it be, you know, desperation in terms of yearning for somebody, or desperation for your, and just straight up survival of like your legit life, you know? Yeah, this was great. This was really, really cool. A little bit like kind of what I was expecting, but also some tracks that kind of really surprised me. Some like darker moments that I did not expect. I kind of expected the entire thing to be this, again, very sentimental, overly explosive and cathartic emotional experience. Definitely some more like subdued moments here that I was pleasantly surprised with. The production here is fantastic. Brian Eno, of course, on the production, as well as Daniel Lanois? I don't know. He's Canadian. Okay, that's cool. Produced albums for a wide variety of artists, including Bob Dylan, Neil Young, okay, Peter Gabriel, Emmylou Harris, Willie Nelson, Brandon Flowers, holy. Okay, he's worked with lots of people. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. And let me know your thoughts down below. Let me know if I should be doing any more U2. And yeah. Leave a like, subscribe, go join the Patreon if you want to see this reaction uncut, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.